It is July the 19th, 108 days until the last polls close on election day, and it is 31 days away from the convening of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. It is the day after Donald Trump's acceptance speech at the Republican National Convention, which broke all records for duration, for inanity, for nonsensicalness, and for cult-like devotion from the audience. This is The Morning. Donald Trump's 93-minute ramble deeply impressed CNN commentator Van Jones. Now, I don't know about that. I seem to recall Barack Obama speaking in a completely filled NFL stadium, and he talked about hope and change. It wasn't a dishonest, messianic, insane ramble. It wasn't a Fidel Castro speech. But whatever the energy Van Jones thinks that he felt in the room, my God, he should have been at Nuremberg. At any rate, the Republican convention has come to an end, and Donald Trump is leading in the race for president. He is ahead. He is winning every swing state, and now states like New Mexico, Minnesota, Virginia, and New Hampshire are in play. The news of the hour is not Donald Trump's convention speech or the aftermath of his zany convention. It is the implosion of President Biden's re-election campaign. It is ending, and it will end in the next couple of days. The Democrats don't yet have a candidate for president. Now, a lot of people are having a hard time orienting around what is happening in the Democratic Party. It's important to understand it's not a top-down event. It's not a rainstorm or a hailstorm. What you're seeing is the ground giving out, giving way underneath the feet of the Democratic establishment who foisted this charade on the American people. It is interesting that the architects of the 2024 rigged democratic process that brought the party to this disaster are now the first to speak when it comes time to figuring out what to do next. James Clyburn is one of the architects of this moment of disaster with his divisiveness. What James Clyburn and Joe Biden engineered was this result, because they denied the opportunity for competition to kick the wheels to see if Joe Biden was ready to make the race. And he wasn't. And now the very same people, the very same architects of the present debacle are again trying to control events, trying to grip the wheel tighter and tighter and tighter. It's not working. Kamala Harris is the frontrunner to be the Democratic nominee for president. What Vice President Harris has to say is, I want to earn it. I want to earn the support of the delegates. The best thing that could happen is that Vice President Harris would have some competition at the convention that she could defeat with a powerful and compelling message. The Democrats need to think larger, more expansively about what is the ticket that can win. The bottom line is this: the convention process must be open. There must be a competition. There must be more voices than the vice presidents in the firmament for the delegates to hear as they make the most important political choice of the 21st century, which is who is going up against the fascist cause. Donald Trump's speech was long, it was boring, contradictory, and incoherent, but mostly within 10 minutes, it exposed the nonsense that Donald Trump has somehow been transformed. He is a man running on a platform of revenge and retribution against the American people who will not genuflect, who will not accept his assertion that he should have unlimited power to save the country that he alone can fix. There are millions of Americans who laugh out loud when people look earnestly from a stage and tell us that God saved Donald Trump, God anointed Donald Trump to lead us. There are millions of us who are shocked that somebody who beat his wife on video was the person Donald Trump picked to introduce him. J.D. Vance's speech was interesting when he talked about the 7 generations of hillbillies buried on the mountain. It was a primer of sorts, a sweet introduction to blood and soil nationalism, which is antithetical to Americanism, contrary to patriotism. This is a big part of the MAGA movement. Lost and lonely people staring at their screens, tweeting with their thumbs, lost, alone, who found community in this rancid cause. But this is a community that is not patriotic, though they wave the flag. This is a community that harbingers real malice, real animus towards a lot of people in the country. So when Donald Trump begins his speech with a solemn reckoning, it was a dark and stormy night, there are millions of us who laugh out loud because the preposterous idea that somehow the missed assassin's bullet has wiped away 9 years of malice and threats and corruption and criminal conduct isn't just insane, it's absurd. We are in an uncharted moment in American politics. This Republican convention provided the American people a spectacle of weirdness and unfitness. Look at Matt Gaetz' face. 108 days from now, the American people will make a choice. It will not be between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Donald Trump will be on the ballot, Joe Biden won't, and the choice will be America or Trump. This race is about one thing. It's about the orange-tinted fascist at the top of the Republican ticket who denied an election result and incited violence against the Constitution of the United States while leading an insurrection. He's a bad man. He's a rapist. He's a man of violence and mayhem and chaos. And he was the worst president in American history. And the Democratic Party has an immense duty. Their duty is to win and to defeat this. And the architects of the present situation should take a very deep breath and be still for a moment and do nothing. Practice humility for at least a minute before telling us once again who it must be that will take on Donald Trump. And if we disagree, we're spoilers who are helping Trump. Because the fact of the matter is, the architects of this debacle have given more succor to Donald Trump because the architects of this disaster have given more to Donald Trump than all but a very few. This is the warning. Join our community to be informed. You'll know the truth here because I'll tell it to you straight without any BS. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is the warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.